Hi, on the Tea and Tarot show this week, I'm still in London town where nothing quite feels right and I'm taking requests. Hi, welcome back. I sometimes do free readings on Facebook and recently I've been incorporating free readings into my YouTube videos, and I put a shout out on Facebook and I asked people to send in their requests for readings. I asked people to be as specific as possible, and I asked people to include some details if possible. When you do an in-depth one-to-one reading, you get some feedback from the client. The client will give you some details and will resonate with things you say. When you do a reading based on a reading request that someone has just sent in, maybe just a line or two, often it's not very specific and often it doesn't include very many details. There's actually one reading that came in this week that does include some details, and I'm looking forward to reading for that one. When people make requests for readings and it's just a very plain question like, will I find love? Can you give me a prognosis for my new business? What does X feel about me? All these questions. They're a bit simple, but I've been kind of training myself to answer them nonetheless. It's a kind of experiment. It's the sort of thing I didn't used to do, but I'm interested in how tarot works. I'm interested in if it works and if it's really helpful on this level. So today I am going to be doing 3 readings, 2 of them very simple. In 2 cases I'm going to be answering 2 of these very simple questions without very much detail having been sent in. And then with the 3rd one, hopefully we'll go a bit more in depth. Let's have a look at the questions. So our first question comes from Indu, and Indu says, "Hi, would love to know whether my husband is going to be successful in his recently started business. The business path is new to him, so just curious to know. Thank you." Okay, well, that's a bit of a yes-no question, isn't it? So the danger of this is always that you get a kind of like a computer says no response. It's not very interesting if the tarot says no, is it? But I will put down some cards because that's what I'm here for. Okay, 7 cards for Indu's husband's recently started business. Okay. Okay, the first thing I want to say is that I think when someone writes in and says, will my husband be successful in his new business? It's not really that they are asking for a yes or a no. They're excited and they just want to talk about it. And I think as tarot readers, we have to be kind and considerate and understand how people come to us for their readings. So I'm not going to do a computer says no or a computer says yes reading for Indu here. I just like to say the feeling that I get from these cards. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 reverse cards out of 7. So Indu, what I'm picking up is that there are some problems that need to be ironed out in your husband's business. But having said that, I noticed that the 7th card, the outcome card, is the Three of Batons. Now the Three of Batons is a very fortunate card, maybe the most fortunate card for a new business. It is about new business. It's about putting good energy into stuff and waiting for it to come back, or maybe that energy actually coming back. It's an auspicious card, this one here. But with 4 reverse cards, I would say that the tarot is giving us some warning signs here. You might hear a cat meowing at the moment. That's a black cat, and probably very suitable for tarot readings, so I won't ask it to be quiet. Be quiet, kitty. Okay, let's look at some of these reversals. We have a reversed 4 of Pentacles in the present position, and I'll just be brief here. I think that maybe Indu's husband does not have a firm enough grip on the finances. That's the message I'm getting for that one. And here I'm seeing future influences reversed, Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is a card of being clever and tricky and foxy and sneaking about and pushing your agenda ahead. And when it's reversed, I sometimes think this means a sort of guilelessness, someone who doesn't have that clever, hard, tricky business, attitude. And it can mean that one needs to be a bit tougher, I think. Okay. Now, in the environment position, I see the Ace of Cups, and it seems to me that's a personal, a relationship card. It seems that I get the feeling that your marriage creates a very good environment for this business to be, in a sense, for it to be founded on here. We do have, as an obstacle, this reverse Ten of Swords. The implication is that this could be a bumpy ride, that it may be that you haven't experienced the problems of the business yet. The Ten of Swords is considered to be the low point of a cycle. So with the reverse Ten of Swords, you haven't quite got there yet. There's something that you might need to go through. What to do? Lover's card, advice card. And this really talks of some kind of decision that Indu's husband has to make, and a decision which will be a test of his maturity, really. Without Indu being in the room with me, I wouldn't want to go into it in any more detail than that. That's an example of a reading that one can do when not very many details have been provided by the querent. Okay, the next question comes from a lady called Eloise, and this is a question with quite a lot of detail, and so it really goes to the top of the queue. It's interesting for me to read cards when I've got some feeling for the situation that the querent is talking about. Eloise says, I want to tell my family, specifically my parents, about someone I love, and although they are very understanding, I do not know how they will react, as there is a big age difference. I want to know how I should tell them and how they will react, if they will be accepting of it or not. More than anything, I want to know if I should tell them or not about my relationship with T. And she says, I will be checking out your channel, sounds really rad. Well, Eloise, that's another reason why I'm reading for you, because you called my channel rad, and well, you haven't seen it yet, but I'm flattered by the idea that I might be rad. So I'm going to give the cards a shuffle, and I'm going to ask the tarot, please give us a 7-card reading about this situation of Eloise thinking about telling her family about her relationship with T, with whom there is a big age difference, and worrying about the family's reaction. Will they be supportive or not? Should she tell them or not? Okay, I'm going to allow this to have a yes-no flavour to it, but as you know, Eloise, it's not really just a matter of yes-no, it's a matter of nuance and detail. So let's see what we see. I'm ready. Please give me the cards. Should she tell them? Rather nice cards, Eloise. Let's see. Environment. Obstacles. Outcome. What I'm getting is that although the energies here are very lovely, and I can see a strong love vibration here, it's not an easy situation, is it? And I think that the fact that you asked the question might be to do with the fact that you are intuitively picking up that the reaction might be complicated. I see that this relationship has started here, this Ace of Batons in the past, and it's been an incredible start. And it was very clear, and it seems to me that there was no sort of doubt about it. This relationship really had to happen. And the advice of the tarot here, this Two of Cups, is that you really have to experience this relationship, and you really have to give it your attention. You really have to be in it. It also seems that the relationship is not, the relationship itself seems to need some attention, because we have the two of you here, Page of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, but you're reversed, and it feels that you both haven't quite found your feet in the relationship yet. So you might be a bit higgledy-piggledy at the moment. Looking across at the environment, and this is the most crucial card, I think, regarding your question, we have a reversed sun. Now, what we want is we want that card to be like that. The sun is a card of a safe place where you are accepted and applauded and supported and you feel warm and loved. That would be the right reaction for your family, but it's reversed, okay? So what I'm getting is that if you told them tomorrow, you might get a complicated reaction, and it might be difficult for you to hear. And it seems, I mean, you have the same card that Indu had in the last reading, the reversed Ten of Swords. It seems that the difficult moment, the difficult juncture, if you like, in this situation is yet to come. Nicole, my advice for you then is no, don't tell your family now. Take a deep breath, spend time with the relationship, see how it pans out. And there is also this card here, the Wheel of Fortune. It may be that outside events are going to change or qualify things, may not change how you feel about each other, but may even clarify things. Or there may be something that needs to happen in the outside world before you move into a stage where it's a better time to tell your family about it. Okay, so good luck with that. It certainly sounds like there's been an amazing beginning, and there's a very clear advice that you need to be in this relationship and you need to be experiencing it and working it out. You have been watching Robert Farrah's Tea and Tarot. There'll be more of this stuff next week. I'll still be in London. Pray for me. Bye.